Good morning, good morning. I am currently in a trade, about to hit my first TP here at 80 ticks. So close. Almost there. Since we're so close, I'm going to go ahead and move my stops to break even. All right, stops are at break even. There we go. There's 2 contracts off. And my second target's down there at VWAP. Are we live? Anybody here? I think we're live. If you can hear me, say hello. There's K. John. Good morning. So close to my target here. Come on, you know you want to go tap VWAP. This is my first trade of the day. I got up later today than I normally do, and I'm super tired today. I was in a meeting last night until 1 o'clock in the morning. So my brain is not all the way here yet. Still waiting for it to catch up. There's Jay Waz. Good morning, Jay Waz. Sounds like double espresso time. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. I think I'm probably going to have to, well, depends on how I'm feeling. If I can wake up here, then I'll probably stream as usual, but if my brain does not wake up, I might have to end the stream a little earlier today. So just to walk through this trade really quick, since we're sitting in here, if you guys are wondering, if I woke up earlier, I would have probably shorted this tick down up there from that upper power zone, but I wasn't around, so I didn't. But this is basically the same setup right here, that tick down. Now, when I entered this trade, it had not yet ticked down, but the signal was already in the upper power zone. And so I had a limit order above this wick right here. So that's how I got wicked in. That's a new method I've been using lately that's been working pretty well. So, and also the orange line, that's the anchored VWAP to the 7 a.m. candle. So there was lots of confluence right there for it to at least want to pull back. Filet mignon, what a way to start the day. Yeah, that filet mignon last night though, man. I wish I was in the meeting and I saw that drop. By the way, we got our second target here, so there's another contract off there. Now I got a runner sitting on. But yeah, what was it, like 11 o'clock last night? I was in the meeting and I switched over. I looked at the chart. It was just a beautiful setup and a drop. Let me go there really quick. Yeah, right over here. We had our delta cross under the confirmation line right there. And we had our pull down to the red zone, tick down. So delta really weak. So the entry is the tick down right here. And look at that. Just beautiful. And you know what? You don't even have to look at the price. You just look at the indicator and see. If you want to be really conservative, you take the first high or low with a relatively thin delta, which is right there. And that brings you to right there for your exit. That's 153.5 points. Beautiful. Now that was a filet mignon. And what's the reason for that? I think I saw something about China countering Trump's tariffs with their own tariffs on certain things. I think it was like agriculture and tractors or something like that. Which is weird that we're building tractors in China. Is that kind of weird? We're sitting right here at VWAP. I'm tempted to just pull it right here in case we get a VWAP bounce. But I will wait for the signal. When I pull it too early, I typically regret it. Well, a tick up in a power zone is probably going to be good enough for me. We got the open coming up here in 6 minutes. Well, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, we're probably going to get a little bit of a shake here, which is probably going to be the upside since we're sitting on top of VWAP. So Probably not a bad place to pull it if we get this tick up. All right, I'm out. $24 points on that one. So that was one contract at 24. So this becomes 1, this becomes 24. All right, now we are all set, ready for the open. That anchored VWAP though, huh? Look at that. What a nice ricochet. So what are you guys expecting today? What are you expecting the markets to do? Let me go ahead and check the news out quick. Looks like we got job openings at 9. And that's it. Tomorrow we got ADP non-farm employment change at 7:15. Final services PMI and ISM services PMI at 8:45 and 9. I'm on Central Time. There's our VWAP bounce. VWAP to VWAP. Patrick says it's going to chop around until the VIX calms down. You don't know about today, just interested in MicroStrategy earnings tomorrow? Hey, BTC just printed a long right here. We got anybody here? Are we back? What is going on, man? I think we're back. I don't know if I just lost my internet again or what. Kind of scary. It seems like we're back. Okay. Well, I don't know. Like, What is it about this time? Same thing happened yesterday. Right at the open. Lost the stream. It's so weird. I wonder if all the data flooding in from TradingView and from Quantower is doing something to my router. My router's kind of old, so I wouldn't doubt it. I know there is kind of a lot of data that comes through, especially on Quantower here. All right, we are getting a tick up above a rising delta, and it is on the VWAP. This could be a long here, guys, but man, that's a big candle. Anybody going to go for it? It's also kind of, it's very choppy right here. I think for me, I'm just going to sit out on this one. Jason, good morning. Yeah, ATR is probably going to start cruising up here. The Delta candles are starting to march up. Bitcoin's back over 100K. Yes, it is. The thing we do have to be careful of here is this broadening formation. Could easily turn around and go right back to the bottom. Those Delta candles, though, they're fatties. So they're saying nope. Well, I was saying earlier that this was a long here. I passed on it, mostly because we're sitting right here at the open. Looks like it would have been a good winner. Jason, good morning. Did I say good morning to you? I can't remember. My brain's not working today. I had a meeting last night until 1 o'clock in the morning. So if I do or say anything stupid today, it's not my fault. Well, I'm wishing I jumped on that train. See if I would have hit my 125. Yes, sir. Yeah, I would. Nice consistency in those Delta candles. Very nice. They're just getting thicker. Looks like we're just moving right out of the gate today. Did any of you guys take this entry right here at 832? If you did, you should be rolling in it right now. Hey, do I sound any louder today than I normally do? I turned my mic up a little bit earlier. I don't know if that helps or not. Same, normal. That adjustment must just be a subtle adjustment. 21,560 is the 4-hour 200 MA. 21,560. Or hour 200, right? Also got previous day high sitting up here at 578. Daily open at 592. Looks like that's probably where we're headed. Very nice delta candle still. I just got tagged into a long on the 8. And at 21,503. Just so happens the next candle we closed under the 8. I didn't really want to see that. All right, just move my stop to break even, and I'm out. So that was a break even on that one. So that is 4 contracts here, so that makes that 5. Just adding the number of contracts there so that my fees are correct, since it was a break even. We're putting in another tick up. However, it is under the delta. As long as the delta's strong, that can still be a good long. But you might need a big stop on it. Personally, I do not really care for that setup. Now, of course, it's gonna go wild here because I'm not in the market. Market says Tommy's not in. Let's go wild. Oh, those deltas are getting fat again. Let's just see. Yep, there's 80. No 125 yet. There's Stealth. Good morning, Stealth. Stealth fighter jet has landed. He does come in here very stealthy, doesn't he? Nice, Stealth. Stealth says been taking the buy-sell toolkit signals on the 5-minute so far. Only one loser from yesterday. Let's turn that back on. You said the 5-minute? There it is. So are you taking this? Like where it changes to green right there? There's the short. Or are you taking the cumulative delta signal after you get that? Is that what you're doing? Just curious. We're still climbing here. Delta's still pretty strong. Got the signal back above the delta. looking back, once we got back above the 8, I can circle it, take my magnet off. A little pullback to the 8 right there would have been a beautiful entry. Stolfs is taking half my position at 50% of the candle on the green signal and then adding on the rest of the cumulative delta signal. Interesting. We just hit JWaz's 4-hour 200 SMA. Got the jolts in 5 minutes. Hey, Schroden's here. Good morning, Schroden. See how many people we got on the stream today. Only 18, not very many. Yesterday we had about that many, and then we lost our stream, and then we lost all of our viewers after we tried jumping back on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that internet going out right at the open there. How did it go yesterday? Well, I ended the stream with, I think it was 180 points, and then after the stream, later in the afternoon, I had some really good trades. So I forgot what my exact number was, but I think it was over 300 yesterday. And then last night, in the late hours, I took some trades. And I was in a meeting, so I did not catch that big drop at 11 p.m. This one, we were going over this earlier. That would have been nice. But I did have some trades back in here, just some little scalps. Before that, before I had my meeting. So yesterday was a pretty good day. The internet issue yesterday was not cool. We had to have 3 tries on the stream. Lost the internet, came back, lost the internet again, shut down the stream, came back for a 3rd time, and then we were golden. But by that time, I think there was only 3 people that that came back. Everybody else threw in the towel. You entered short right before the tariff news last night at like 11 Central Time? Or when was that? I'm assuming that was tariff news right there. China tariff news? Yeah, 10:58 p.m. Oh, in the morning? Patrick says, I think a break after the last couple days of volatility isn't a bad idea. Yeah. You know, it's never a bad idea to walk away if you're not feeling it. And there's the news. And Quantower's going nuts. See if we lose internet with all this data coming in. I think it has something to do with my router. My router's old. Well, that delta, man, this is the kind of delta you want. You want to ride this whole thing out as long as it's strong, consistent like that. I just can't seem to get on the train. I tried here. Break even stop. I should have re-entered on the 8 right here, but I didn't. And now it's so far, it's so extended. Right at previous day high. I hate to jump in around here. ATR's at a 76 now. Rodin says ATAS has a cool feature in their traditional cumulative delta indicator. It separates the cumulative delta into 5 bands by order size so you can see what small order traders are doing versus large order traders. What is ATAS? ATAS. He says usually the largest and smallest are not aligned in the same direction, but this morning they were. That should have been a clue for me to see the long. Interesting. ATAS is a trading platform. Is that just an acronym or is that the actual name? I just went to their website. Interesting. Ataz? It's an interesting name. Ataz. So are you using that now instead of Quantower? Weren't you checking out Quantower? You have several platforms. Probably too many. That delta is unstoppable. It's just glued to the ceiling. Well, potential entries here. Let's see. I mean, there's always the 8, but it doesn't even look like it. I mean, it's so strong, it hasn't even really touched the 8. Maybe here it did. Then you got these little order blocks that it looks like that could have wicked down to that one. But it doesn't even look like it touched that one either. Got another one here. Doesn't look like that got touched. Got another one here. No touch. It's a rocket, man. It is too strong. It's a runaway train. That's when I start getting FOMO. It just keeps going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny. And you know, the second that I jump into this, it's going to be the actual top. If I just hit buy. Yeah, Schroden, should we try it? You go long and we'll all go short. That'd be a funny experiment. Hey, I just looked at my screen. If we would have done that right there, we would have been making money. I think we were talking about it like right in here. We'd be green right now. Oh, it would have got 80 ticks. That's for sure. Let's see if it would have hit 125 for fun. All right, starting to see some exhaustion in that delta for the first time. We would have just hit our 125 ticks there. Schroed, we should have done that. That would have been a good winner. The 30-second is kind of interesting. Here's the 30. Definitely more entry opportunities on the 30. This higher low here, which is around that same green circle, that's a good entry. Here's another higher low right here. Looks like there was a little bit of pullback on that one, but you get the signal and then enter on the 8. That's a good, those 8 entries are really good when the price is moving. BTC tanking? Uh-oh. That's probably not going to be very good if we end up back down here at 92. Well, the delta's still positive. However, we kind of lost a lot of our momentum. It's getting fairly thin in there. We also have a negative slope on the delta now. It's trying to come back. Delta's starting to turn up a little. If we get a tick down here, we are going to have some bearish divergence. We're so close to this pivot line and that average daily range line. Wouldn't be surprised if we make it up there and then turn down. Well, on the 30-second, we got a short here at 9:20:30. We got our delta cross under the confirmation line. And our tick down from the red zone. Back to the 1 minute here. Looks like the 1 is about to fall in line with that. ATR's high, but I think I might give this a shot here. All right, I am short. I'm short from 21,646.37. So we'll use 25. That is the delta squeeze. It's in the playbook. We'll see if it works out. All right, there's 2 contracts off. I'll shoot for 125, move my stops to break even. Nice stealth. Tag team in that one. There's our delta exhaustion coming in. Still a negative slope on the delta. Schroed says I got to try partials again, but the way you're doing it, I got full in and then full out at 80 ticks. Well, that's not a bad way to do it either. I might get stopped out here at break even. Yep. So broke even on the last remaining contracts. So 2 more contracts on my calculator. So this will move to 7. Doesn't change my points at all. It just changes my fees. Still a winning trade. That's what I do like about partials. It's like if it wants to come back to my break even, like if I was just full in, full out, I probably wouldn't be using 80. I'd probably be using 125. And that would have been a break even. I wouldn't have won anything. But I have really liked this method lately of taking some off at 80, more off at 125, and leaving a runner. It kind of satisfies all of those parts of my brain. It's like I wanna exit on the cumulative delta, so the runner is good for that. And just securing profits at 80 and 125 is always a good idea. Now, we'll see if we set up for another short here, but this was such a strong move. We could just kind of chop sideways here. It's 926. I would not be surprised if we chop from here. That was such a big move. $260 points. I've seen bigger, but it's significant. Yeah, Schroden, that is the big question that I'm trying to answer, because see, the nice thing about being full out, like full in, full out, is that occasionally you get a giant runner. And that one giant runner makes up for like so many losses and, you know, partials. Doing the partial thing, it adds more consistency, which I like. So I feel like with more consistency and a higher win rate, you can actually size up more. But I mean, let's face it, before my win rate was always horrible. It was always in the low 40s, but I would always get like, you know, I would always get that big runner that would happen to step in at the end of the day or whatever it is, and it would take my P&L still, you know, very nicely in the positive. So I still don't know whether or not this is better, but from a psychological standpoint, I think it's much better because there's a lot more wins. So I feel more comfortable just having a higher win rate. If it's all closed, though, it would be worth continuing doing it that way, just for the psychology of it. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning right now. It's like just the psychology aspect alone, it's less stressful. So I think that makes it worth it. By the way, we just got our second lower high in the red zone. I should have shorted that. Can I jump in late? Put a limit order right there. We'll see if I get picked up. But yeah, this is the same setup right here, basically. Shoot, would have almost already hit 80 ticks. That would have been a good winner. I was just talking too much, I guess. No, Schroden, that's not your fault. That's my fault. I should have been paying attention to that. But hey, I hope one of you guys grabbed it. That's the same setup right there. This one's going to hit 125 too. I can feel it. Yeah, Schroden. That is a good point. The 32nd was the first tip off that this was going to happen. Since that already hit 80, I canceled my order there because I would have moved to break even at that point. Jason says, the one thing I've learned about trading, you have to make decisions that feed and grow your psychology. Without a strong trading psychology, you are DOA. That is true. Psychology is very important. You know, my worst trading seems to happen after I have, well, the more losses I have, the worse I trade. And that might seem obvious, but what I mean by that is like if I get 2 or 3 losses, I start to get the feeling that what I'm doing is not working. So then I try to do other things that are outside of my trading plan. And when I start doing things outside of my trading plan, then it just gets even worse and gets uglier. I don't know why I do that, but there's this feeling that, okay, what I'm doing isn't working, so I have to do something else. I'm trying not to do that lately. But in the past, I have done a lot of that. And so if having the small winners helps my psychology so that I'm more at ease, more comfortable, then hopefully I'd never fall into that gutter. Because once you fall in that gutter, man, it can happen quick. And before you know it, you look back and you say, what the hell did I just do? Well, this is our third lower high, but at this point, I would probably just pass on that. Delta's clearly chopping. The lower high near the center line is not as good as the first or the second up there. The higher the indicator, the better. And it's still holding that 20 EMA pretty well. Yeah, it looks a little flaggy. It also looks could be that diamond pattern, which is like it is a reversal pattern. I know it's kind of a messy one, so maybe not quite. Here comes that lower high again. Stealth. I know, isn't that the worst feeling? Grow your accounts for weeks and then you give everything back in 20 minutes. You kind of have to laugh about it, but you know, I think everybody has to walk down that path in order to become a good trader. You have to experience it. If you don't, it's too easy to just think you're on top of the world and think everything's going to be golden forever. And then you put too much size down and risk too much. I don't know anybody who's ever been really good at trading who has not experienced that. All right, if we get a tick up here, this is going to be our first higher low on the signal. Could be a potential long, but I don't really trust that rat's nest right there. On the 5 diamond, yeah, there's a little bit more of a diamond there on the 5. Back to the 30-second here. Very choppy delta. You know what this reminds me of is for any of you guys that go ice fishing, you know, like look at this as like the thickness of the ice. That's going to hold you pretty well if you're trying to get into a long on that. But once you start seeing these little wet spots, you know, the ice is getting really thin. There could be holes in the ice right there. You try walking through that, you're asking for trouble. Avoiding 11 Eastern today. Rando Fed guy chirping plus London close. So stepping away soon. You know what? I think I'm going to step away soon myself. After a move like that, I've just seen this all too often. We get this thin delta and we just chop sideways. Now, there's a way to play the chop. If you play these wicks, that can actually work pretty well. Like if you short, that's the wrong tool. Short that wick high. Might be a good winner. Target one of these wicks down here. You could do that over and over again, usually in the chop. See if we hit that ADR line here. It's at 680. Looks like we just touched it. So let's see if that first high or low would have worked. So that'd be right here at 937. 937. Yeah, looks like it would have worked. Leaving money on the table. Looks like it's closing in on 125 possibly too. I'm going to go grab some coffee. I'll be right back. Alrighty. I got another kid homesick today. So last week I had 2 girls homesick. And this week my son is sick. So we just keep passing it around. Look at that ATR line. You guys see me say this a lot, but see how we just go right up to it, and then a lot of times that ends up being significant turnaround point. I wonder if that shows up on prior days. Let's see. Oh, yeah. We almost made it there yesterday. Almost made it to the bottom during New York session. Oh, that's not the right one there. Didn't get there on that prior day. I thought we had one recently where we went right up to it and turned around. Maybe I was imagining things. Or maybe these lines are printing differently than they did. I don't know. All right, let's go back to where we were today. Looks like we are getting a little bit of a sell-off there. That's that tick down from that upper power zone with a weak delta. Looks like that would have been a good short. Let's see, the tick down is right here. There's 80. See if it gets 125. Is the ATR line painted by the onsen? Yes, it is. It is the onsen effects algo. That is this ADR limit daily. I have mine set to 7 and 5, which are, I think, the default values. (2:30 Eastern) today, David Sachs press conference discussing SWF and other things. Will definitely be a catalyst of some kind for BTC. Interesting. What's BTC doing? We're back under 100. Looks like we're pulling up a little bit. That's a good sign. I would like to see it pull up a little bit more. Nice, Schroden. Schroden says, even though I missed some moves, my results have vastly improved since I started exclusively getting in on limit orders. Where are you putting your limits, if I may ask? It has the added benefit of making me plan out the trade and keeps me out of taking trades through a quick reaction. I would also agree with that. Generally speaking, that is good to plan it out ahead of time. When you react quick, a lot of times it is not good. At least for me personally, I've noticed that too. If I see something and I just jump in right away without fully thinking it through, that can usually lead to bad results. Either the 8 or a volume imbalance. Okay. Cool. I do like that 8 when the price is moving. If the price is not moving, you don't want to use the 8. Like right now, see how we're chopping the 8? That's a case where you typically don't want to use it. But once we started, like here, once we moved out of it, came back in, right there the 8 could still work. You just got to get some movement in the price. So we had our delta cross right here. So I am currently short biased. Just waiting for a clean setup. Oh, and also sometimes a wick test is what presents most clearly for cumulative delta plays. I like wick tests myself. Excuse me. Not sure if that's really loud in the mic when I cough. Should I mute my mic when I do that? I do have a mute button here. I should probably start using it. Looks like we're trying to get a little bit of a bounce off that 50. Ever try those new volume candles in TradingView? What new volume candles? Up here? Volume candles. These? Whoa. Cumulative Delta looks crazy. What are these volume candles? Different widths based on volume? Oh. So are the open and closes the same? In highs and lows? It's just the widths? Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at these tiny, skinny candles over here. And then, boom. Right there. At the open. Volume comes in. Look, we had a lot of volume here on this one. That is really interesting. I've never seen these. That's crazy. I mean, you can literally see the volume tapering off here on these little skinny candles. Yeah, food for thought. I'll have to do some back testing with that and see if maybe some setups might be higher quality if the thickness of the candle is thicker. I'll have to check that out. But for now, going back to what I know. All right, Jason, I have to hit a meeting. We will see you tomorrow, maybe Power Hour. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good one. It is 10 o'clock. We are chopping sideways. We thought we'd probably chop sideways based off of the time and based off of that move there. So I'm probably going to be cutting it here pretty soon myself. I'm going to try to short that wick high right there, since we are somewhat bearish right now. All right, Schroden, we'll talk to you later. Still got a weak delta. It's underneath the confirmation line. Confirmation line is currently falling, has a negative slope to it. So I am looking for a short here. Not going to wait for the tick down. I know it's a little more of an aggressive approach, but it's been working pretty well for me lately, so. All right, I just got tagged in. And at 21,662.75. All right, now we just need to get this tick down in that upper power zone, and we should be home free. I probably just jinxed the trade by saying home free. I shouldn't have said that jinx word. I take it back. There you go, market. Now you're going the right way. Starting to get that tick down in that upper power zone now. It's not official. Bulls are trying to push back here. All right, the delta's still weak. It's trying to crawl back above that confirmation line, but hopefully the bears can take her down here. Since that delta is starting to cross above the confirmation line, I'm going to go ahead and move my stop to break even. All right, so now I'm totally risk off. ML, good morning. You just joining us? You're late to the party. And my break-even stop just got taken out. So that is going to do it for me, I think, with this sideways chop. So let's see. Let me go ahead and move or update my calculator here. So that was 4 contracts. That brings us to 11 for my break even. So it looks like I'm going to end today with 135 points, 270 bucks on micros. I'm trading micros. If I was trading minis, it'd be 2,700 bucks. After fees, 254. So not a bad day. But I think I'm going to bounce here and let this chop continue. If you guys continue trading, good luck. We will be back tomorrow at 8:15 a.m. Central Time. So hopefully we see you tomorrow morning. All right, guys. Take care.
That certified trend, watch that V-boss stick. Trade so clean, got my profits real thick.
Yeah, I use that VWI, volume weighted, that's the map. Hit my levels, never cap, big green candles, watch them stack. I'm in the zone, got my setup tight. VWL bouncing, entry right. Big lot size, no scalper life. Trend is strong, I hold all night. Market open, watch the tape, liquidity gon' set my fate. If it holds, I let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend and I decide. We drove by magnet, price aligns. Catch that dip, now watch it climb. Yeah, I use that view get volume weighted, that's the map. Trend confirm, I let it clap. Catch that move, no looking back. The mode is shift, I see it clean. Delta rising, bulls and steam. Volume high, trend is mean. New day high, that's routine. Markets wild, stay composed. Bounce, I double dose. Risk is tight, reward is vast. Let it run, no exit fast. Pre-market plan already set. If it's weak, then short's the bet. Buy is strong, but I'll adapt. Trade what's real, don't get trapped. No emotions, risk defined. Vobo telling me it's time. Big green candles, money stacked. Trade that volume, never lack. Market open, watch the tape. Liquidity gon' set my fate. If it holds, it gon' set my fate. If it holds, I let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Market open, watch the tape. Liquidity gon' set my fate. If it holds, I let it ride. If it breaks, I cut with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Why day chop, I step with pride. Midday chop with pride. Midday chop, I step aside. Wait for trend, then I decide. Vop on magnet, price aligns. Catch that dip, now watch it climb. No emotions, risk defined. Vobo telling me it's time. Big green candles, money stacked. Trade that volume, never lack. Never lack. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look back, momentum shift, I see it clean. Delta rising, bulls and steam. Volume high, trend is mean. New day high, that's routine. Markets wild, stay composed. Vow bounce, I double dose. Risk is tight, reward is vast. Let it run, no exit fast. Pre-market plan already set. If it's weak, then short's the bet. Buy it strong, but I'll adapt. Trade what's real, don't get trapped. Vibes keeps me sane. Baseline price, it runs the game. Overextended, I refrain. Wait for retest, then I claim. No emotion, his get fine. Baseline price, it runs the game. Overextended, I refrain. Wait for retest, then I claim. Emotions, risk defined.